I'm Abhay Rajkumar, Chartered Accountancy finalist. So today I have the great honor of hosting a podcast with my inspiration in life, CA Madhukar Hiregange sir, a true leader in the field of indirect taxes. As we all know, he has made significant contributions for our country. Sir has served as a Central Council member for 6 years and was also the chairman of the Indirect Tax Committee for 3 years. So it's truly a blessing for me to have had an opportunity to work under him during my articleship days. So I would like to welcome you to this online podcast, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sir,
Tell
I
us something
also
about
wanted,
yourself, Abhay.
yes, sir, definitely. Sir, I have completed my first group of chartered accountancy final. I'm preparing for my second group. And sir, also I wanted to wish you all the very best as you stand as a candidate for the ICI Central Council election 2024.
Thank you.
All the very best, sir. Sir, so as a chartered accountancy student, I wanted to understand from you that how a potential Central Council member can give more clarity about many issues faced by the chartered accountancy students community. So will you be happy to give answers to few of my questions, sir?
Yeah, I will. Most of them I should be able to answer. You should remember last 3 years I was not in the Central Council, but I
Okay.
have been close to the students in my first stint in 2010 to 13 and also from 16 to 19. Please go ahead, Abhay. I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, being a chartered accountancy student, I know that the CA students actually faces mental stress, anxiety issues, everything like that. So, many of my friends are even taking medications for depression. So, how can you support the CA students struggling from mental issues to improve their mental health, sir?
Very difficult. You have put me a very straight away Yorker you have bowled to me.
Something
But
like
I'll
that. Since
answer
I'm
you
a chartered
because
accountancy student, this is the main
I
concern
know,
of
I
mine,
know,
sir.
I know. I also went through a lot of pain. I failed CA 4 times before I passed. And I went to the Central Council thinking things are very wrong in the council. And some needed reforms I did do, like giving 15 minutes extra time, then gap between the papers, and we also had a number of reforms in evaluation and paper setting. But let me not get into that. Your question is a little different.
During the preparatory
Yeah.
stage and all.
What I think is this is an unfortunate part of CA that we do not take care of the emotions of the students. In fact, even as of now, Abhay, I have got a portal. It is only one man show presently with a few people recording. It's a non-profit, no, it's a free website called the Hiregange Bridge. It teaches,
Hiregange Bridge.
yeah, it teaches what is not taught in schools. Something about
Okay.
morals, something about values, and also very importantly, how to overcome limiting emotions.
Okay.
There are 3 series of videos on changing your thoughts and beliefs to change your life. Now, this is free.
Okay.
Any student can go on it. Not only that, if they cannot work it out on their own, I have also given an invitation. Until the time I go to the council, I'll be available for individual support for anybody. I have done this for about 200 different people, including maybe 10 students of CA itself who had similar problems. Now, whatever they
Sir,
are going
sir,
through,
one simple interruption. What is the domain name for that website, sir?
the Hiregange Bridge.
The Hiregange Bridge.
This is only what I have done, not in the ICI. If I go to the ICI, maybe something similar I will look at as a CSR activity.
Hmm.
And the second very important thing which I had started in 2010, which has
Hmm.
borne fruit recently,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
a bit more, I would say, is
Hmm.
that results should be based on the understanding, not on memory.
Hmm. Hmm.
That particular aspect was pushed in those years. Slowly it has changed. And even now there is some memory involved. But if you look at the latest results, they are far better than the 3-4% which used to be there earlier. I think that the results are the main, number one. Number two, defocus from cramming and rote learning, which causes lot of stress. People think I have done everything, I've studied everything. Why am I still failing? I also looked at evaluation, how to ensure no bias in the evaluation system. So this was a continual effort, and even now it's continuing. Nowadays, we have thought, we means, I think I should not take that credit. Last 3 years, the Board of Studies has not a Board of Studies Examination Committee has taken an initiative of online evaluation using AI. That means that, say, I am correcting a paper and my variations are too many, then those papers will automatically be sent to somebody else. Remember, this is online, so you don't have to wait for physical papers to come, go, and all that. Once the computer evaluates that there is some bias, it will go to the next person. So these are some of the things which are there. I don't know all the initiatives in the exam committee because I'm not there, but I understand that some good work was done there, and I will take it forward. From the institute side, second is that we have a lack of counselors for the students, counselors who know about CA, who know about the subject also. And counselors could be trained, people who are interested in counseling. And there are a lot of CAs who are, say, in the age of 45, 50, who don't want to go through the bustle of traffic, etc. But they have a soft corner for students. And those CAs, if we can identify and train, they could be good counselors. At this point of time, I can think of this as a support system for such students. The easiest support system is to guide them how to prepare and how to write exam. There are a lot of myths, lot of mistakes. Even when you were in our office, we would have done this particular how to prepare and excel in CA exams.
Correct.
But then everybody doesn't pass CA as of now. So that is a fact which is there. That is what I can do, is what I can think about.
So my next question is connected to one point what you have already mentioned. Many students are not many students, all students are unaware of the evaluation part. We don't know how ICI is doing that evaluation of our papers. So still students think that ICI is not giving marks according to the suggested answers. So can we bring a transparent and fair valuation process, or can we get a standard template so that we can understand ICA is giving marks according to this template? So can we have a standard template for that?
I don't think so. Because first of all, as I said, we are moving away from rote learning. Nobody should mug up and write the exam. Ideally, they have to understand. If they are understanding writing, it is fine. You have to also understand one important thing. The suggested answer is written or prepared by the Board of Studies. Board of Studies has nothing to do with exam. The suggested answers are, by the Board of Studies. So therefore, there would be some gap. However, normally the way in which evaluation is done is that there are some checks and balances against very tough questions. For example, one particular question, 1A, was for 9 marks. And throughout India, nobody got more than 1. Now, this question is evaluated by the exam committee by taking inputs from the head examiners, who are seasoned people, very good people also. What, in my understanding, I have met many of them. They are exemplary chartered accountants, dedicated to the profession. They may be a bit strict because they're a bit older. They are also not the only ones. Board of Studies also gives its suggestions on each and every question. These are evaluated by the exam committee, and if it is found that the question was not possible to answer by an average CA student, then marks are awarded for that particular question in some sort of a percentage. For example, many people got 3 out of 10. Average is 2 out of 10, but many people got 3. Then maybe they'll add another 4 marks for that question automatically. Number one. Number two, sometimes what happens is the question is having alternative answers, which is not known at the time of setting of the paper. And the examiner, paper setter would have given his answer, which is the base on which the evaluator is evaluating. If alternative answers are there, then Board of Studies comes forward and says, these alternative answers are also there for this particular question. Then again, this exercise of finding out how students fared is done, and that is added up. Sometimes the subject itself will be pretty tough. You will find that we will find in the exam committee that majority of students have failed in it. Then we examine again, and for the subject itself, some marks are given additional. These are all subject to limits. It is not that you can give, any number of marks for any number of papers. This is called the process of moderation, which is there in every university and professional institute. It's not unique to the ICAI. One more thing which is done is that, say you have done well in 3 subjects. When I say well, I don't mean 70%. Even if you have got 55% average in 3 subjects and you have failed in one subject marginally, say you got 36 or 38, then the system, the computer system itself adds that mark to make it 40 because the student is good. Of course, if the student has got, say, 65% average, then even 32 may pass in one subject. So this is another. It is
happening now also.
It has been happening from my time. I'm talking about, I wrote exam when 87. Not 87, 85 first. So it's been almost 30 years now. It was happening then also, happening now also. That is a computer automatic. But other moderation systems have come after some time. But it was there in the system for some time. But students don't know about it. And I don't see why it should be a secret. Actually, it should be published by the exam committee.
It is a happy news for us also.
Yeah, you should. For you should certainly write your exam. You should also come for some minimum, mentoring with me for a couple of hours. I should be able to give you some tips and you should be able to pass next time. But you have to spend time to study. You can't say I will not study and pass. That will not be possible. Go ahead, Abhay.
Sir, so as you mentioned about this system, even I was not aware about this. So this brings happiness to the CA students, of course. So many concerns when students are raising there, it is already answers are there with ICI, but it is not properly communicated to the students community. So do you think, sir, there is a communication gap between ICI and students, whether the ideologies of ICI it is actually reaching out to the students properly? If not, how can we bring more strength to the communication between ICI and the students?
There is a gap, no doubt about it. I think it is misplaced, and I have been an advocate of transparency. In fact, I think in 2011, there was a move, where Bombay High Court had said the answer papers have to be given. At that time, I had put my foot down and said it should be given, and it should be given at reasonable cost. And it was given. In fact, many people who fail don't take that Xerox copy paper. They should apply for Xerox copy if they feel that they have done well and evaluation has not been good. Number one. Number two, there is something called examiner's comments, which are given after the exams by the head examiner, taking inputs from all the evaluators. Now there you will find a lot of common errors there. And most students are going to coaching classes. They don't see the CA material. That is this particular very important document. So if I know what are the common errors and I go through it and realize, oh, I was also doing the same thing, then I can avoid it in my next exam itself and get through. As I said, the system is becoming a little better. In fact, The communication part of it, I think this time if I go, I will ensure it is done. You also should ensure I do it if I go. Because if I'm not there, I may not be able to implement this, but we can certainly give it as a suggestion.
Okay.
It is known, but people are scared to give an information because it gets quoted, it goes to the court. Even that time for Xerox copy papers, the bureaucracy was bothered about what if 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 students go to the court. But it didn't happen because
Correct,
once
correct.
they got the Xerox copy, they came to know why they failed.
Mm.
Otherwise, they had all sorts of doubts in their mind that there is something going wrong there. So being transparent, in my understanding, helps a lot. Maybe these things should be made clear. I have been making this clear from 2010 onwards, 2010-11 onwards itself. I have openly talked about this, but then since ICA had not validated what I said, it used to remain as something Madhukar has said.
Agree, sir. Totally agree, sir. So hopefully, if you are there, that communication gap will be reduced, and we will
No,
push
even
for
if I
that
am
also.
not there, we can make a representation. You can help me with that.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So one point you mentioned in between, sir, when students are failing, they are not going for certified copies and they are not looking to the examiner's comments. So without seeing all this or without taking the initiative to do all these things, people are dropping out due to the high failure rates. So what can you do or how can you help to reduce that dropping out rate due to the high failure rates, sir?
Yeah, this dropping out is very serious, in fact. And it is one of the reasons why there is a perception change. And many students, they go for easier courses, even if it's more expensive. They take loans and go for those courses. I think the main way in which this can be done is to make the papers understanding oriented, application oriented, practical oriented, and also see that we evaluate them for their thinking. And if we do that, the percentage of people who pass will possibly cross 25-30%. But then they need to also learn that way. They cannot go and learn rote learning in some of the coaching classes do, telling them that you mug up these 40 questions and you will certainly get through. If it doesn't come, that chapter doesn't come, some other chapter is there, then students say it's out of syllabus. Actually, it is not out of syllabus. It is out of the syllabus of what the coaching classes have taught. Coaching classes also feel that if a CA material is, say, 1,000 pages, they'll make a 200-page booklet and say this is what is important. But that is not correct. That coaching classes also should be a little more careful in putting down the CA material, because the CA material is used for by the evaluators, by the paper setters, and they should also be used by the students. You understand? If I give you a textbook which is 100 pages, and then there is a standard textbook which is 300 pages, and you study only that textbook which I have given you, you will fail. Without some doubt, you will fail. So use of ICI material, at least at the time of revision, should be mandatory as far as students are concerned.
So that way we can reduce the all of these
Yes,
putting to
failures itself.
the failures we can
But
reduce.
it's a long-term initiative. If you see my if you see my credentials also, I've done something for students. And what I want to do is attract students to the ICI. That is my stated goal. Initially also, I went to ICI because of students. This time I'm actually going for capacity building, but I'll do a few things to attract students to ICI by making the course less painful and evaluate the right things. So people without ranks should be able to comfortably pass CA.
Sir, one last question, one final question. This is not regarding the CA students community, but once a student has completed his examination and has qualified, uh, they are less interested to take up entrepreneurships and new innovations. Mostly everybody is going into employment. So how can you promote a culture of entrepreneurship in the students' era itself, in the students' time?
There are courses, there are subjects which are inclined towards entrepreneurship, especially in the alternatives which we provide in the final group. One is that. Second is there are courses which are good courses actually on business itself, business management course. There is a certified course by the ICI. But entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I'll tell you why, Abhay. CA is a course which attracts people from middle class and lower middle class and poor also. That is the truth. I have more than 5 partners whose background is very poor. Not 5, I think 7. Who are all earning now 30, 40, 50 lakh rupees, some of them even 1 crore. They were farmers' children. But if they had gone to engineering, they had no chance to go to engineering. There would have been some clerks in banks if the CA course was not there. So CA course is, first of all, people from economically poorer sections join more. Others also join. I'm not saying others don't join, but others may go into entrepreneurship. They may go into practice, take a risk. Whereas these people who come from this background are happy to have bought their family out of poverty by joining jobs. So most of them join jobs. They will finish their CA, then they will join some MNC for some time and get placed in some MNC firm itself. Either the big firms, which we have, big 4, big 6, or they'll go to the clients of those big 6. Even from our firm, many people, whom you are aware, they have gone to the industry, and when they go to industry, they earn much more initially. Of course, over time, I always say that practice and entrepreneurship is far more lucrative, but we don't teach entrepreneurship really. It depends on who are the people coming in. If more entrepreneurs' children come to CA, then there'll be more entrepreneurs. But we have mostly people from a bit challenging economic background. So they look for safety, they look for a good job, they can buy a house for the first time in that community itself. So they look at nice big car also. Yeah.
So, sir, once again, all the very best wishes from my side, sir, from all the students community side. So
please do share with them the
definitely,
video, because this is not an election video. It's actually a student inclined video. Please do share with the students.
Definitely, sir, definitely. When I was in Hiregange Associates doing my articleship, at the end of every session, you will be asking us to tell our dream. 6 months dream, a 3 years dream, a 5-year dream, a 10-year dream. All dreams we should be setting up. So, sir, can I ask one simple thing? What is your dream in another 1 year, sir? If you can share that.
Not in 1 year. I don't have a 1-year dream. My dream is there in my message. See, I'll tell you, as far as ICI is concerned, there are 2, 3 specifics. One is I want to bring credibility to this profession, which is missing. Last time also I had that dream. I think I bought credibility when GST was implemented. Even the present Prime Minister and the then Finance Minister applauded us in public that we did a wonderful job in GST. They called us their partners in nation building that time. But later in some other areas, we goofed up and got some negative remarks also. So if I look at it, I think capacity building is missing. CAs think sometimes that once they pass the CA, they need to get assured income. That doesn't happen. That is not a reality today. Maybe 25, 30, 40 years back it was. You had bank audits, you had a test function having less of risk. Today it is consultancy. If I add value to you, Abhay, then only you will pay me.
I'll pay.
So,
definitely.
But the number of areas
only will not bring money.
Correct. The number of areas which have opened up for us are amazing, but we need to learn that. And in CA, one thing is learned. We learn that we can learn anything, because subjects which we don't like also we have to pass. And I think that that's a very big qualification to learn new things even after passing CA. I don't know whether I can make it mandatory every 5 years. People have to go through some certification course to say that they are updated, number one. Number two, the new areas which are coming, whether we can teach it in a bit more organized fashion. Nowadays, there are a lot of courses being launched by ICI on digital literacy, cyber, security and forensics, because these are very expensive outside. So the institute itself has started some courses, but maybe I should go and find out and make it happen like GST happened. Through workshops. We held 100 workshops per year. Each workshop only 60, 70 people. So that way we did this, and that became a very big success. Hopefully we can replicate that in these digital and other consultancy areas. You look at the Big Four, they do what? Why do people join Big Four? Because they're getting into current subjects. For example, we may have to make it mandatory that data analytics is done by everybody. We can't keep it as optional. But whether we can tinker with the course now, I don't know, because the CRET was recently launched. We can't keep changing the course every 1 year. But I think maybe we'll try to prevail on the council to at least add digital literacy and data analytics, because that has become the base of all the work today. The Amazons, the Googles are all looking at that only. So maybe we can look at some new areas where capacity building can be.
So thank you very much for your valuable time, sir. I will definitely come and meet you in person when I am coming to Bangalore.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And some questions were a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. I hope I gave all straight answers as I normally do. And hopefully whatever I said, I will do. If I get elected, certainly I will do it. Thanks a lot, Abhay, for spending your time.